Are you considering a move to the Dallas area, but you're still on the fence, you're doing your research because you're not really sure what part of town you want to live in? Do I want to live in the burbs? Do I want to live in the city? Well, you're in the right place because in this video, we're going to be talking about far north Dallas. Dallas is a big city. You've got a lot of different sections, a lot of different areas to consider. So today we're going to break down the far north Dallas area, which is boxed in by a couple of freeways. You've got the 635 that goes across the bottom on the south side. And then on the north side, you've got the George Bush Turnpike. To the west, you've got the Dallas North Tollway, and North Dallas, well, far North Dallas, kind of goes over to about Coit Road. That's where Richardson kind of starts to kick in. It's not an exact line, but you know, it kind of meanders up that way. So Coit Road, that's kind of about as far as it goes over. So North Dallas, far North Dallas is a great part of town. You get a lot of bang for your buck on a house there when it comes to the Dallas area. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the reasons why people are flocking to that area and scooping those houses up. And then we're also going to talk about some of the reasons why people are getting the heck out of that area. So be sure to watch until the end because you're going to want to know what it is that people are complaining about. If this is your first time to the channel and you're excited to learn everything there is to know about the Dallas-Fort Worth area, be sure to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you're always up to date on the latest market insights. My name's Tara McGraw. I'm a realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I help people like you every single day. So whether you're looking to make a move in a week or a year, across country, or all the way across the globe, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below. My team and I would love to help you make a smooth transition to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay, so let's start with pro number one, which is going to be bang for your buck, because you can get a lot for your money in the far north Dallas area when you compare it to other areas of Dallas. So let me just tell you a little story about 635. People in Dallas are, they can be a little bit snooty when it comes to living north of 635 because back in the day, there were two zip codes. You had 214, which was south of 635, and then you had 972, which was on the north side of town and kind of up in the burbs. Well, 20, 30 years ago, everybody was like, 214, I'm 214. I don't want to be 972, like that's way up in the burbs and like all that, okay? And I used to be like that too. I will admit it. I was like, I am 214, I am not 972 until I visited 972. And I found out what I could buy in the 972 area. And I'm telling you, you can get a really nice house up there and it's going to cost you quite a bit less than the Dallas area. Now, it's going up. The prices are going up, so don't let that fool you. It's not like you're going to go up there and just, get a steal of a deal, but you're going to get a nicer house. So let's just say for comparison, okay, north of 635, that you can get let's just say $1 million house. You can get $1 million house. It's going to be about 3,500, 3,600 square feet and 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom, 3 car garage, and a pool. Okay, and it's going to be built probably in the 90s. Let's just say like 1995. Okay, so that's what you can get up there. And then in the North Dallas area, okay, because we're talking far north here, north of 635, south of 635 in the regular North Dallas area, $1 million house is going to be more like 3,100 square feet. It's gonna be more like a 4 bedroom, 3 bath with a 2 car garage and no pool. And the lot size, that's gonna be important too. So that house in North Dallas is gonna be on probably more like a 0.25 acre lot. And in far North Dallas, that same $1 million house that we were talking about, it's gonna be more like a 0.35. So you can get an older home because there are some older homes that were built in the 60s north of 635. So you can go up there and you can get an older home, and if it's, in a bad way, you can tear it down and now you've got a nice sized lot at a reasonable price, and then you can build your new construction custom dream home if you want to, or you can live in one of those older homes because they're really solid houses. Most of those were custom homes back in the 60s and 70s. And then, it got, as you went north, the houses got a little younger, so 90s, 2000s, a little further north. So you can get a younger house if you want to, but those older homes are very, very solid houses. And I would take one that was nice and remodeled on a great lot with a great floor plan and a lot of yard any day of the week. Pro number 2 is going to be how extremely, and I mean extremely, convenient far north Dallas is. The location is amazing. It really is centrally located. So I know we call it far north Dallas, okay, but remember what I told you about, 214-972. It was far north before, but now everything has developed north of that. You've got Plano, Frisco, Addison's built up, Prosper, all of these suburbs north of Dallas. So far north Dallas is actually centrally located when you look at the whole Metroplex together, okay? So you can get anywhere from far north Dallas. You've got the tollway that goes north and south. So if you want to zip up to Frisco, because there's a lot of entertainment up there, a lot of jobs, a lot of, places to work, and, you're going to use Frisco if you are in far north Dallas. But then you can also go down to Dallas and go see a Mavs game in Victory Park or a Stars game or go to the Pro or whatever. It's only going to take you like 15, 20 minutes. Now, everything in Dallas is pending traffic, okay? Because traffic can be bad anywhere in Dallas. But it's not as bad in far north Dallas. You're not as dependent on the highways over there. You've got a lot of side streets you can take around. But the Dallas North Tollway can get a little bit backed up at rush hour. But most of the time, you can count on the D&D for being pretty good for traffic. So, you just want to take that into consideration. But as far as getting downtown, you can get there in probably 20 minutes. Same thing for Frisco. And you can get to the airports really easy. So Dallas Fort Worth International Airport is probably about 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes if you hit traffic or something. 30 minutes there, 20 minutes down to Dallas Love Field, I would say, if I was guessing. And you've got Addison Airport that's just like you can throw a rock at it from far north Dallas. And that's where, if you have a personal aircraft or you want to charter a plane, you can do that out of Addison Airport. So all very convenient things and easy to get anywhere in town. Lots of shopping and everything where you are, so you don't need to go a long way for that. Very convenient. So let's talk about the shopping. Now that I've mentioned it, that's pro number 3. A lot of shopping and dining, entertainment type things right there near you. So you don't necessarily have to go to those other parts of town if you don't want to. You've got Addison, which like I said is might as well be far north Dallas. It's right there. They have more restaurants per capita than anywhere in the United States. So plenty of dining options. You've got the Galleria Mall that's right there. Lots of shopping there. It's kind of, done this over the years and, it kind of hit a little bit of a low there for a minute. I'm not going to lie, the Galleria wasn't doing that great, but a lot of stores have started to come back because there is a development coming to far north Dallas called Midtown. And that is going to be something really amazing. It's going to have a huge park in the middle that's kind of like a Central Park sort of thing, and office buildings and residences and all sorts of things, restaurants, shopping and all of that. So there's an attraction coming back to that area, and the Galleria is kind of right there. So a lot of stores coming in there. You've got your high-end shopping that never did leave, like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and, some of the big brand names like that. But yeah, the stores are coming back, and that whole area is just going to be completely revitalized. So I can't say whether buying in a certain area is a good investment because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. There could be a zombie apocalypse and everything's worth nothing. We're just trading, canned foods. Okay. So I don't know, but I would say if it were me and I were looking for a home that might appreciate in value, I might be looking in the far north Dallas area because not only do I just like it, but that Midtown development is coming and it's going to take several years to build it. But if you buy a house and you stay there, the property value is likely to go up. Now that Midtown development is probably going to make it go up faster. I don't know, I can't say 100%, but I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. And it's really going to bring people from North Dallas up above 635. So North Dallas people that are snooty about far North Dallas are probably going to change their tune pretty soon. There's also a racket club there called T-Bar M, and it was purchased by the Woodhouse Group, which owns Park House down in Highland Park, which is a social club there. So they just bought an older racket club that's right there near the Midtown development, and they are totally revamping it. They are turning it into more of a country club sort of vibe. The pool's gonna have cocktail service, and it's gonna be, you know, like real swanky with music and all that. They've got indoor courts there. They've got tons of outdoor courts, pickleball, paddle, all the things. And they're redoing the clubhouse, totally tearing it down, building a gorgeous state-of-the-art facility. It's gonna be a little pricey to be a member there, but that's gonna be right there near the Midtown development too. So I think that's really gonna bring a lot of the North Dallas crowd up a little further north. So if it were me, I would be trying to get in there as soon as possible before all of this takes place. So then you'll be happy because you got a great deal, and everyone else is going to be paying a premium once all that gets finished. Now there is another development that people are a little bit upset about, okay? It's called Pepper Square. Okay, that's a little shopping area. It's a big shopping center actually that we've had here. It's been run down. I think they've been thinking about this for a long time, so they've been kind of moving the retailers out of there, and you know, it's kind of looking a little shady there over off Preston Road, Preston and Beltline area. Well, the thing is, some developers want to come in and they want to tear all that down, and they want to build a different shopping area, but they're going to have it rezoned to be residential as well, because they want to build like a big kind of like high-rise residential building with the shopping underneath. And it looks like it's going to be really nice. It does look like it's going to have some really pretty outdoor spaces, and it's going to be a huge step up from what's there right now. I mean, it's looking pretty ghetto right now where it is, but like I said, that's because the redevelopment is coming. So I think that the Pepper Square is a good thing, but where people are upset is they don't want that residential building coming, because number one, it's really high, and maybe you've got a luxury property that's close by, and then you're looking out and you can see this, you know, up in the distance, and they don't want to see that. They also would prefer, if they're going to build it, for them to be condos or, you know, something like townhomes or condos, because people will buy them. And there are already a lot of apartments in the far North Dallas area. There's a lot of condos too, but there are a lot of apartments, and, you know, they're kind of older now, a lot of those. So they're kind of getting run down. I think when this Midtown thing comes through, those are going to end up getting purchased and torn down. They're going to build nicer ones in the long run. But right now they're kind of, you know, you've got some dicey ones. And I think people who have, you know, if you've got a home that's a couple of $1 million around the corner, you really aren't very excited about more apartments moving in, because in 20 more years, those are going to be kind of run down. So I can understand why they would rather them be for purchase rather than for rent. But, you know, it is what it is. And ultimately, everyone's just going to have to decide what they want to do. There's a city council vote that's going to be happening. It keeps getting delayed, but eventually they're going to come around on it and figure out what they're going to do. So, you know, that could be a pro or con. We don't know until we find out how it turns out in the long run. Another big pro of far North Dallas is going to be the schools. So DISD is not good. I've been telling you guys that. It's just not, okay? It's rated a B. I don't know how it's rated a B, because I've heard some pretty nightmarish stories about DISD. So, okay, whatever. I don't make the grade, so whatever. They're giving it a B. I'd probably give it an F, but okay. Well, in far North Dallas, you have some areas that are actually covered by Plano ISD from the north and Richardson ISD from the east. So if you get in one of those little pockets, you can go to public school. I mean, you can go to Dallas schools if you want to, but I just wouldn't recommend it. but you could get in one of those little pockets where you have Richardson schools that are rated A-. And they also have some charter schools over there in Richardson too that are really good. And then Plano schools to the north are A-rated. So that gives you some options there if you don't want to, you know, try to get into a private school or something like that, because they can be pretty expensive. Although another pro would be that there are some really good private schools in the North Dallas area, the far North Dallas area. Over off the tollway, we've got Trinity Christian Academy, you've got Prestonwood Christian Academy, Prince of Peace, and just several good private schools over there, Legacy Christian, a lot of schools that you wouldn't have to be driving all the way across town to get to a Dallas private school. You know, like if you wanted to go to ESD, which is a great school, and, you know, Ursuline, a lot of private schools in Dallas that are really great, St. Mark's, but those are going to be a drive. So you can go a little more north and hit those schools there. All right, let's move on to the cons. Let's get these out of the way. You want to know what kind of stinks about the far north Dallas area. Well, the traffic, okay? Traffic in Dallas is not great anywhere, but you know, you can get some traffic on, you know, the tollway and Preston Road and Hillcrest right now because people have been moving here and a lot of people have been moving to the burbs. So if you need to commute up the North Dallas tollway, then you can hit some traffic at rush hour. But like I said before, that traffic is really not that bad unless you are going all the way up there, because it kind of starts to get bad at 635, I've noticed, and you can kind of take some back roads and get around it. So I don't think it's that bad. Preston Road is a major road that people want to take when they're trying to get off the tollway. But you need to avoid that. Don't take the one that everybody else is going to. You need to hop on over to Hillcrest. Now, Hillcrest goes all the way up to Plano. So you can get from like all the way down at SMU and take Hillcrest all the way as far north as you want. That's a great little cut through that is usually pretty good. Not a lot of traffic on Hillcrest. Right now, there is some traffic because of our next con. Well, people are seeing this as a con. So let's talk about that DART rail system that's coming through. Now, a con of Dallas in general is that we don't have a whole lot of public transportation. So you have to have a car here. It's a very spread out Metroplex and you're gonna need a car. That's just how it is. So budget for that expense. Well, people are upset because we don't have a lot of that. When you come from another place and you're used to getting on the subway or doing whatever, then yeah, that could be a con for you. But those of us who've been here, we don't really care. We're used to driving everywhere. We want to drive everywhere. We like our cars here. We like our little safety zone inside there. We can listen to our music or audiobook or whatever, and we don't want to be with general population when it comes to our transportation for the most part. So we like it that way. It's not a con to us, but for people moving here, it might be a con for you. Okay, so you might need a car. Well, they're trying to improve upon that and build this DART rail system. It's the Silver Line. It's going to go from Plano all the way to DFW Airport. It's 26 miles long, and they're spending like $1.9 billion on this thing. I mean, it's a big deal, okay? So the issue is that it's going to cut through far North Dallas, and it's not even stopping in far North Dallas as far as I know. I think it's just moving through. I think it's just going from Plano, passing through, and then maybe it'll stop in Addison or something like that. I have to look at the map. But from what I understand, the gripes that I've been hearing are that it's not even going to stop here, but yet it's coming through the middle of the neighborhood. And there are houses there that back up to this thing. So they have built this huge wall on either side. So, you know, because everyone's upset. They're like, we don't want to look at it. We don't want to hear it and all of that. So big concrete walls going up on either side. It's going to cut right through the heart of far North Dallas. And, you know, most people probably won't notice it that don't live right up against it. But if your house backs up to that, I'm sorry. Those concrete walls, I feel like you're going to be able to hear it no matter what. And that's going to hurt those people's property value. So that project coming through is a con if you are looking at homes right along that railway. You need to know that before you buy. So that's why you should call me, because I have the map and I know it's coming and I can help you determine whether the house that you're looking at purchasing is going to be on that route, because they may not have started construction there yet and you won't know. So something to be aware of when you're shopping that area. Another con for the entire state of Texas is going to be the weather. I talk about it in every video because it's a con. I'm sorry, it's a con, and the whole state is pretty much the same unless you live like in the Panhandle or like way down on the end. But it is gonna be a con for most people because it does get really hot here. Now, maybe you live up north and you're like, I can't wait to live somewhere where it's hot all the time and I just love the heat. Well, great, then you're gonna love it. And you know, I may be exaggerating a little bit when I say it's hot all the time, because it's not, okay, it's not hot all the time. But it's really hot for a short period of time. And so it feels like a long period of time because it's so unbearable to me anyway. So you can get 100 degree, 105, 110 degree weather over here when it's, you know, July, August, September. Those months are rough months for us because it does get really hot like that. But you know, if you're looking for a mild winter, well, now you're talking, because the fall here is really, really beautiful and we get all of the seasons. So October is lovely. We love October. It's my favorite time of year just because we're getting the relief from the heat and it's beautiful outside and we can take walks and things like that. So October is great. November is great. December, you might even have 70-degree days in December. And that's pretty cool because, you know, sometimes it doesn't feel that Christmassy because it's not cold yet, but it's nice when you want to go do some outdoor, you know, looking at lights or whatever, and it's pretty nice outside. So you can get some good December weather. January is when it kind of takes a turn and it gets real chilly. January, February, that's when you might get a little cold snap and have some freezing weather, which is not, I mean, when we have it, it's only for like a couple days because like some weather pattern blew in and we get like a little dusting of snow and it's like the whole place comes to a screeching halt because no one knows how to drive when there's just even like the tiniest bit of snow, or, you know, God forbid there's ice and it's like, forget about it. The whole place is shut down. The schools are out. Business is shut down, like everything. So yeah, we're not really good with the super cold weather because we're not used to it. So, you know, it does get a little bit cold January, February, but like I said, cold here is probably not like cold there. So, you know, maybe like the 40s, you know, we'll probably hover around in the 40s a lot. But then by March, April, things are starting to warm up and then you're back to the pretty weather again. You're getting your 70-degree days again, and that's really nice. And you can really kind of cruise on through with, you know, like some 70s, 80s. Probably, I mean, usually it doesn't start getting hot till like June. July 4th is going to be pretty hot usually every year, but usually, you know, you can kind of skate on through those early, you know, late spring, early summer months with some pretty decent weather. So not hot all the time, but, you know, that's a major con for me. We do get a lot of storm systems that come in. You know, we might get some thunderstorms and things like that, but you know, that's pretty much about it. We've had like 1 or 2 tornadoes in my whole lifetime. I've never been in one, but there was one that hit Fort Worth and there was one that hit Dallas. I don't think anybody even died in any of those. And it wasn't like what you see on the news in Oklahoma or, you know, other states like that. So not a big deal. We don't have earthquakes. I mean, that's pretty much it as far as natural disasters go. So you're pretty good on that front, but it's a con, the weather, the heat, that's a con. So lots of reasons why people are moving in and moving out of there. But really, to be honest with you, in my humble opinion, I think the far North Dallas area is fantastic. I think it's gonna be great. Let that Midtown development come in there and clean up the area where it sits. And I think the neighborhoods are beautiful. You've got mature trees everywhere, big lots, gorgeous homes. And I just really don't think it can get any more convenient than that part of town. So personally, that's where I would go if I were moving to Dallas. I'm in the suburbs myself, but I've lived in far North Dallas, loved it. I've lived in other parts of Dallas and it was okay, but far North Dallas, hands down, That was my favorite part of Dallas to live in. So maybe you'll like it too. Maybe you want to check it out. Maybe you are moving to the area and you want to take a little tour. Well, you should call me, reach out. My contact information is in the description below. My team and I would love to help you facilitate that move here to the Dallas area. So give me a shout. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video.